A thread by Kyle Becker. Dominion from the Wall Street Journal. Fake claims about Dominion voting systems do real damage. It's over, guys. The Wall Street Journal has laid to rest all questions about the security and integrity of America's voting machines and the 2020 election. Wait. That's according to Dominion, hashtag Fisk, 1 through 27. This article was written by Dominion CEO Poulos. Let's set fire to his strawman arguments one at a time. 1. Dominion doesn't need to have vote flipping algorithms for actors to corrupt election results. Its own user's manual says risk is high that votes can be modified. 2. The article claims Dominion has no ties to Hugo Chavez. That's not right either. C. Exclusive. On heels of Diebold Premier purchase, Canadian e-voting firm Dominion also acquires Sequoia. Lies about Chavez ties in announcement. Article from the Huffington Post. Link in the thread. 3. Dominion is an American company now headquartered in Denver. Google must be in on the right-wing plot to discredit the Canadian-based company. It says its headquarters are in Toronto, Canada. 4. None of Dominion's systems use the Smartmatic software that has come under attack, as any state certification lab could verify. It actually runs in reverse. In 2009, Dominion provided Smartmatic with a worldwide license to use its software. Link in the thread. 5. In fact, Smartmatic filed a lawsuit against Dominion for tarnishing its reputation because the software used in the Philippines election in 2010 led to a major elections fiasco. You can't make this stuff up. Link in the thread. 6. Third-party test labs accredited by the National Institute of Standards and Technology perform complete source code reviews on every federally certified tabulation system. It's interesting Poulos would mention NIST, which flagged Dominion in 2010. Link in the thread. Quote, the part of the election process on which Dominion focuses is highly regulated and certified, end quote. Just today, we learned that the EAC's voluntary guidance for security over the Dominion machines used in Arizona was last issued in 2005. Melissa Hamilton tweets, thread, the most secure election, haha. Arizona election officials quote EAC certification to provide justification for Dominion software being quote unquote secure. Per the EAC, they certified Dominion 5.5B, the same system used by Maricopa County, Arizona, based on antiquated 2005 EAC voluntary guidelines. Kyle continues, quote from the article in the Wall Street Journal, quote, some of the main counties where results have been contested, like Philadelphia and Allegheny, which is Pittsburgh, don't even use Dominion voting systems, end quote. This is true. Responsible reporters have said as much. Kyle Becker himself, November 15th, Philadelphia. Dominion submitted a bid to the city of Philadelphia to be considered for use in elections. Although the bid was given to ES&S, there is something quite curious about its application. It's redacted. Not only that, look at what is redacted. 9. Please list any foreign ownership or investors in either the parent company and or its subsidiaries. And then a big block of black. Kyle continues. 9. Quote from the Wall Street Journal article, Dominion is never able to affect the outcome of an election. The entire certification process makes sure of that, end quote. Dominion doesn't have to do anything except be extremely vulnerable to hacking and vote manipulation from local actors. This is from PBS, Georgia, 1 week before the election. PBS does a deep dive on Georgia's use of Dominion voting systems machines. What they found is troubling. 10. Quote from the Wall Street Journal article. Regardless, the company's focus has always been to be nonpartisan and respectful of all views. If the voting company is so nonpartisan, why do 96% of its employees' political donations go to Democrats? 11. Quote, Dominion's customers are election officials of both parties in the 28 states where it operates. That's true. Dominion's lobbying operations are notorious. See the corruption fueling the purchase of dangerous new barcode ballot marking devices. 12. Quote, unlike its critics, Dominion has had to attest to every part of its business ownership and operations to governmental agencies and in courts, under oath and penalty of perjury. Untrue. Witnesses are testifying to Dominion's security flaws under oath. November 29th, Kyle Becker tweets, 2020 election. I conclude with high confidence that the election 2020 data were altered in all battleground states. Navid Keshavarznaya. 13. We believe it is important to welcome the highest degree of scrutiny and transparency into the election process. Dominion, like ES&S, has resisted white hat hacking for years. Resisted white hat hacking. In 2020, e.g., it declined to participate in the DEF CON event in Vegas. Link in the thread. Hacker conference report details persistent vulnerabilities to US. 14. More from Politico. If you used a mail-in ballot in Fulton County, Georgia this year, you may have noticed a peculiar language at the top of the ballot. Copyright 2020, Dominion Voting, Inc. Voting machine source codes are secret and proprietary. From Politico.com. Forget hanging chads. Copyright laws could be the next electoral quagmire. 15. What is so secret about the way these machines are counting our votes? Asked University of Michigan professor J. Alex Halderman. That's the question that everybody should be asking when we're told that the software is copyrighted. Dependable? From apnews.com. Lawyers spar over Georgia voting machine glitch. Planned fix. What about this? A software change to fix a glitch in the state's new voting machines. Election integrity activists say the state is downplaying the problem and putting the security of the upcoming election at risk. 20. On election day, poll workers, not Dominion systems, verify voters' identities, including a signature check. This is from Arizona, per Dominion's own documentation. Marissa Hamilton, November 20th. Interesting. Dominion Maricopa County RFP on page 31. Dominion states they, quote, must fully participate in county's final election security audit. You can find the RFP here at countycontracts.maricopa.gov. Hashtag secure the votes. 21. Voters verify the marked paper ballot before casting it in a secure ballot box through an air-gapped scanning tabulator. The safeguards that election officials say protect voting machines from being hacked are not as effective as advertised. Cyberscoop.com. Air-gapping voting machines isn't enough, says one election security experts. 22. Paper ballots are safeguarded by thousands of poll workers distributed across 2,656 precincts. Paper ballots and mail-in ballots are not safeguarded by officials as a default assumption. 2020 poll workers are testifying to election day chaos. Kyle Becker tweets, November 27th, Wisconsin. It's a sham. It's a complete sham. I can tell you right away there is no way this is a legitimate recount. Another day, another poll worker's testimony of rampant voter fraud in Milwaukee. This is a truly disturbing account via Lisa Van Wyck. 23. The Georgia Secretary of State's office certified election results after hand auditing 5 million ballots which showed that the paper ballot voting system counted and reported accurate results accurately. New York Times verifies that recounts can't verify mail-in ballots from the New York Times. Once that is verified, the envelope containing the signature is separated from the ballot to protect the secrecy of the voter's choice. There is no longer a way to match ballots to envelopes. As such, rechecking signatures in a recount would be meaningless. That's from the New York Times, by the way. 24. Quote, the state also enlisted Pro V&V, a certified third-party testing laboratory, to audit a random sample of Dominion machines. No tampering was found. Cobb, the director of Pro V&V, attested to, quote, no specialized knowledge of voting machines in an October 2020 Georgia court case. 25. The wild allegations of recent weeks have fueled the harassment of election officials and Dominion employees across the country, including stalking and death threats. This is a classic PR move, the death threats claim. That means people should stop criticizing the company. 26. The lies and smears have no basis in fact, but they do real damage to our democracy. Do lies and smears include verifiable facts in mainstream publications, news reports, expert testimony, legal affidavits, court cases, government websites, and Dominion's own materials? 27. The false allegations should be protected immediately. Agreed. And the easily verifiable facts, expert testimony, and valid criticism should stand so that voters can research the issue for themselves and determine the public good.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.